He got a lot of weaknesses though. He's a very good fighter, but I do see a lot of weaknesses. He's not gonna correct them overnight. It's gonna be the same Tio that we done seen 1,000 times before. He's gonna come out there trying to perform highly, and I'm gonna take advantage of it. But as far as the weaknesses, I'm gonna keep them to myself.
Shakur Stevenson isn't just sizing Teofimo Lopez up, he's saying he already knows where the fight will swing in his favor, and when Teo comes out trying to shine under the lights, Shakur believes that's exactly when he'll step in, pick him apart, and take the win. Even Tito Mercado didn't hesitate when he was asked to weigh in on this fight. He stated, "I think Shakur will win, just cause we seen that Teofimo has a hard time with boxers and guys that move around the ring. That's something that's not really his speciality." That's a scary thought for Teo, because Shakur doesn't just move, he disappears and reappears with clean shots. And when you're chasing someone like that, every missed punch costs you twice. First in points, then in confidence. The longer it goes, the more it starts to feel like you're fighting shadows instead of a man. You begin reaching, forcing moment, trying to create something big just to change the story. But that's when mistakes show up, and Shakur lives for those little openings. If Teo can't cut the ring early, the night could slowly slip away from him round by round. Then Mercado took it a step further and explained where Teo usually looks most comfortable, and why this matchup, on paper, could push him into the wrong kind of fight. He stated, "When dudes come forward to Teofimo, that's when he kinda knows how to engage and counter. But coming forward, that's not his strong suit, so I think Shakur should be able to beat him fairly easily. Because if Teo is the one who has to lead, the pressure shifts instantly, and pressure changes everything. Now he's the one who has to take risks, and risk is exactly what Shakur feeds on. One wrong step, one lazy entry, and you're paying for it with a sharp counter and a reset back to the center. That's how frustration builds. You feel like you're behind, but you can't find a clean way in, so you start gambling, and the fight turns into a test of patience versus ego. And if Shakur keeps his discipline, this could turn into a long night where Teo is always a second late." Meanwhile, Tarver sees this matchup as one of those rare fights where both guys are young, sharp, and fully ready. No excuses later. In his eyes, it has that big event feel where styles decide everything, not hype.
I think this is a fight where, two young men are meeting, and I think you can say they're in their prime. And we don't get this a lot in boxing. You know what I'm saying? But when it reminds me of a Trinidad De La Hoya like sort of fight. And when I look at the styles and how each one of these fighters can really win, I think both of these fighters are going to have to fight their fight.
That comparison raises the stakes instantly, because those kinds of fights don't give you time to warm up. One fighter wants the ring to feel calm and controlled. The other wants it to feel chaotic and uncomfortable. The scary part is that both can win, but only if they stay true to what they do best. If either one tries to be the hero too early, they could walk straight into the other guy's best weapon. This is the kind of matchup where one small mistake looks tiny in the moment, then becomes a disaster 2 rounds later, and that's what makes it feel like a real fight, not just a fight announcement. Then Tarver gets specific about the chess match, where the fight happens and who controls the space. He makes it clear that one shift in positioning can swing the whole night.
If you see Shakur controlling the distance, giving him angles, keeping that fight sort of in the middle, you gotta favor Shakur. But if he's on the back foot, if he's on the ropes, that's going to give Teofimo a lot of opportunities. And what makes Teofimo, I believe, dangerous in this fight, he throws both hands in succession. He's a combination type puncher, and that always serves well if you got a real slick defensive fighter in there. If Shakur can show us a little bit of that, what he had in his last fight, a lot of that work in the center of the ring, it's going to be an exciting fight. I think you got to favor the guy who's in the best condition, not only physically, but mentally. I think, these guys are going to have to lock in, and they can't let, that intricate, you got to have your personal life in order. You know what I'm saying? Leading up to a fight this big. That's going to be the key for both of these guys.
If Shakur is allowed to stay comfortable, the fight slows down, and the other guy starts pressing without answers. But if Shakur gets pushed back even for short moments, the energy flips, and the threat suddenly feels real. That's where combinations, timing, and momentum start to matter more than single shots. Tarver's point is simple. This won't just be about skill, it'll be about who can keep the fight in the place they want it. And there's also the mental side. Big fights don't only test your chin, they test your focus. Once distractions creep in, even elite fighters start making basic errors. Tarver continued to talk like a gambler who respects the safe pick, but still sees a path for the underdog to flip everything. He's basically saying the favorite looks right on paper, until the fight turns physical.
Be on the boxer, Shakur Stevenson, winning the decision. But if Lopez can make this fight a lot tougher than expected, and he's going to have to exchange with Shakur. He's a fast fighter. We don't know who's the quickest or fastest here. You have to give the speed edge to Shakur. But if Lopez can punch with this fast guy, make him a little bit cautious and a little bit leery of what's coming back, that serves him well. But Teofimo is one of the best conditioned fighters out there. If this fight goes late, you can expect him to be pushing forward round 9, 10, and 11 if it goes late.
Because a decision win sounds clean, but it's never clean when the other guy refuses to cooperate. If Lopez can make Shakur feel something coming back, even once or twice, it changes how freely Shakur moves. Speed matters, but so does the fear of what happens when you pause for half a second. And Tarver hints that the late rounds could be the real danger zone, where conditioning becomes pressure, and pressure becomes mistakes. That's where fighters stop thinking about winning rounds and start thinking about surviving moments. If it's tight going into the championship rounds, every exchange starts feeling like a turning point.
It would have, I think that's the only chance he got, is to really be his ultra self, doing all the things that makes him Teofimo Lopez. The footwork could be a major advantage for him, being able to get inside. A lot of times he fights free. He don't really have a style. He does what it takes. And he's a gutsy fighter. Real gutsy. He's not going to be leery to take chances. He's a gambler in there. You know what I'm saying? So he's a live underdog, I would say. A live underdog, but if he's to win this fight, I think he has to probably stop Shakur Stevenson. He's going to have to hit him with something, and let's hope Shakur's hands hold up.
That's the kind of style that can look messy, but it can also steal a fight when the timing hits. If Lopez finds a way to get inside and force real exchanges, the whole matchup changes from a boxing lesson to a fight. But the trade-off is obvious. You can't play that game halfway, because halfway gets you picked apart. If he's going to win, he has to create moments where Shakur can't just reset and breathe. And when a fighter starts taking chances, the crowd feels it, the other corner feels it, and the tension jumps. That's why Tarver calls it a live underdog situation. Dangerous, unpredictable, and one clean moment away from turning the story upside down. But Shakur sets the tone right away with pure confidence. He's not looking for belief, he's handing out a warning. He's framing it like a takeover is coming, and he's talking like the guy in front of him can't stop it.
I got a lot of heart. This guy's good. This guy's the next Floyd Mayweather. There's nothing else that they could say bad about me no more. For somebody who's never seen me fight before, I think I'm a master of my craft. If you want to see art, come watch me.
He's basically saying the noise around him doesn't matter anymore, because his work is the only proof he needs. That kind of confidence hits different when you're about to face someone dangerous, because it sounds like he's already pictured the fight and the win. It also tells you he's not planning to survive rounds, he's planning to control them. When a fighter talks like that, it usually means they trust their timing and their composure under pressure. And if he really sees this as his art, then the goal isn't brawling, it's making the other guy miss and pay all night. That's the kind of mindset that can make a tough opponent look ordinary.
That I've been kind of waiting for my entire life. I didn't have to make this fight. This fight, I could have just stayed at 135 pounds. I made this fight happen because I know Teo is one of the guys at 140, but he got a big resume, big accomplishments. And I know there's going to be some doubt with people and fans when I go fight this guy. Going to be people that really believe that this guy's going to beat me. I'm not on the level that I think I am and I say I am, so I made this fight for that reason.
That choice adds real weight to the fight because it tells you he's chasing respect, not comfort. He knows people are split on this matchup, and he's leaning into that doubt like fuel. It's the classic prove-it fight, the kind that either raises your ceiling or exposes you. And when a fighter admits he could have stayed safe but didn't, it usually means he's confident in what he brings at the higher weight. Now the pressure is bigger too, because he invited it. If he performs, it won't just be a win, it'll be a message to the whole division.
Biggest opponent I fought, but I don't feel like size win fights. I don't care who you is. If we get in a physical little wrestling match or anything in there, I'm feel me just as much as I feel you. So
He's making it clear that strength isn't just about body size, it's about how you handle contact when things get messy. And that matters against Teo, because Teo loves making fights feel rough and uncomfortable. If Shakur can hold his ground in those moments, it takes away a huge part of Teo's advantage. It also forces Teo to win the fight with skill, not force. And that's where Shakur believes he's better. This is the part of the matchup people don't think about until it happens. Finally, Shakur gives a glimpse into the work behind the confidence, without giving away too much. He wants people to understand he's not talking, he's building something.
that was 9 rounds of sparring. I ain't gonna tell y'all the minutes, but yeah, I'm preparing to my fullest. So I'm putting in a lot of work and getting ready.
It's the kind of detail that tells you camp hasn't been light, and he's treating this like a main event level grind. When a fighter is locked in like that, it usually means they're preparing for every version of the fight. Fast, slow, technical, and ugly. And that's important here, because Teo can change gears mid-fight and force you to adjust. Shakur's goal is to show up sharp from round 1 and stay sharp when it gets tense. If his conditioning is where he believes it is, that late round pressure won't scare him, it'll help him. And once a fighter feels fresh in the later rounds, that's when they start taking over. While everyone else is stuck debating styles and highlights, Shakur's coach keeps it simple. It all starts with the work in camp. He sounds like a man who's watching a fighter level up in real time.
Excellent camp going so far, and I think that, Shakur is going to be in the greatest shape of his life for this here fight. He gets better by the hour, so being that he gets better by the hour, soon he'll be invincible. So, that's the way we're looking at it.
This kind of talk isn't just confidence, it's a warning. When a coach speaks like this, it usually means they're seeing sharpness, discipline, and consistency every single day. It also suggests they believe the best version of Shakur hasn't even shown up yet, and this fight is where it finally arrives. The scary part for Teo is what happens if Shakur starts fast and stays clean early. Once a slick fighter gets comfortable, it becomes hard to touch him, and even harder to rattle him. And when you can't land clean, you start forcing moments. That's when you walk into counters and lose rounds without even realizing it. Then his coach shifts the conversation from this fight to the bigger picture, like he's watching a career hit a new gear. It sounds like he believes Shakur is stepping into the version of himself that people expected all along.
I really think, he's at the turning point in his career. It's the reason why those guys that came in on the top level were always looking up to his level, because he was the only one up there.
That's important because turning point fights don't just change rankings, they change how opponents look at you. This is the kind of moment where a fighter stops being talented and starts being feared. If Shakur comes out calm, sharp, and confident, it puts pressure on Teo from the first bell. Now, Teo isn't just fighting Shakur, he's fighting the feeling that Shakur is in control. Those are the fights that get away from you because you start chasing the score instead of building your own plan. And when you're chasing, you're giving the other guy exactly what he wants. Moses also brings up the pace, and you can tell this is a key part of their plan. He's basically saying they don't want a slow chess match. They want Teo breathing hard by the middle rounds. He stated, "You know what I'm saying? You need a fast pace. I don't think you can keep up with us at a fast pace. I think it'll break him down." It's a smart angle because speed is one thing, but sustained speed is where fights get ugly. If Shakur can keep the tempo high while still staying defensively responsible, Teo has to work twice as hard just to get close. And the harder you work to get close, the more openings you leave when you finally throw. That's where clean counters change the fight, because they don't just score, they discourage you. Once a fighter starts hesitating, the pace becomes even more dangerous, because now you're tired and unsure. And if this turns into a battle of who can stay sharp late, that's exactly where Shakur's team believes they'll separate. Teofimo doesn't talk like a man who's overlooking Shakur. He talks like a man who respects the threat. He frames this as the kind of challenge you choose when you want to prove something, not protect something.
Fighter, good fighter. He knows how to fight. He knows how to box inside, outside. He knows how to use his lateral movement. So I think that all those things I need in order to enhance my skill sets and also to challenge myself, because we can't say we are the best if we don't see it or look for it or even go out there and test it.
You can hear it in the way he breaks Shakur down. He's not focused on one skill, he's focused on the full package. That's what makes this fight feel dangerous, because Teo knows he's not chasing a one-trick opponent. It also tells you he's preparing for a fight where the target keeps changing: angles, distance, movement, and timing. And once Teo realizes he has to work harder than usual just to land clean, the fight starts testing his patience. Then Teo flips the energy and starts talking like a champion who's guarding territory. He's basically saying the hype doesn't matter, only the result does, and he plans to leave with everything he came in with.
Let him be what he believes he is. My job is to do what I need to do and become victorious. Defend my stuff. I've done it 3 times. This is number 4. This is number 4 for the ring. This is number 4 for the WBO. Super. So these are my goals, is to defend my throne. I cannot be called the takeover and have someone take it over.
That's the mindset of a guy who believes this moment is made for him, not borrowed. He's treating this like a statement fight where defending the belt is only part of the mission. The bigger mission is protecting his identity, because if you're calling yourself the man at the top, you can't afford to look shaky when the spotlight is hottest. So for Teo, it becomes personal in a different way. It's about control, pride, and shutting down the storyline before it grows. Shakur makes it clear this isn't just another big fight on his record. He's treating it like a personal audition for the whole boxing world. In his mind, this is the night where the talk becomes proof.
I want people to know I'm the best. That's my main objective. I'm here for the best versus the best. I called on Teofimo for this fight to happen because I wanted to prove myself and prove how great that I am. So come fight night, like I said, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure I come out victorious, but I want to prove how great I am. Like, I want the world to see the greatness within my skill set, the boxer that I am. Like, after we get out the ring, I want everybody to be talking about that. Like, yeah.
You can feel the hunger in the way he frames it, not chasing a belt only, but chasing respect that can't be debated. He wants a win that leaves no room for excuses, no what-ifs, and no split opinions. That mindset matters because against Teo, you don't get credit for surviving. You get credit for taking control. So the pressure shifts to Shakur to make the fight look a certain way, not just end with his hand raised. If he can stay sharp, calm, and creative under fire, it becomes the kind of performance people replay and argue about for weeks. And if he pulls it off, the story after the fight won't be Shakur beat Teo, it'll be Shakur arrived. This fight feels bigger than just Shakur versus Teofimo. It's skill versus pressure, calm versus chaos, and discipline versus raw ambition. Shakur believes this is his moment to prove he's the best and show the world what he's really made of. Teo believes he's still the king at 140 and nobody is coming to take what's his. And that's what makes this matchup so exciting. Both guys are coming in with something to protect and something to prove. So what do you think happens when the bell rings? Does Shakur box his way to a clear decision? Or does Teofimo find a way to make it rough and pull off the upset? Can Teo really keep up with Shakur's movement and timing for 12 rounds? And if it gets close late, who do you trust more under pressure? Drop your prediction in the comment section below and let us know who you've got and why. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tune in for more videos like this.